Hello, gossipers. So, this is reality talk. So, we're going to talk about the Hunter College professor, Allyson Friedman, who made racist remarks, right? And stories like this, it just plays with my head. It plays with my anxiety. It plays with my depression. It just plays with my mental health to know that when you go to school, doctors, wherever, on vacation, out and about, you don't know how people of a certain race, white people, feel about you. And the reason why it hurts so much for me is to see that I have white people in my family. Like I'm sure people, a lot of people do. People of color have white people in their family. But to know that you can go to school, send your kids to school to get an education, and their own teacher or assistant teacher, substitute, whomever is there to teach your children feel this way about that child of a particular color. So I'm just going to read this quick article from CBS News and then you'll hear it yourself. Every other day you sign on is something about racism. And people might say to me, well, it's because you're on social media. Whatever you click on, the algorithm is like, oh, she clicked on this racist. So every day we're just going to show. And then that builds in you like it's an everyday thing. But it's like, basically, it's like an everyday thing, right? Could that be true? Of course, because once you hit on something, then you're going to see all the similarities of videos coming up. But still, to know that in this age and time, I'm not naive, I know there's racism there, but to see how blatant people is, and people have been warned, especially when they have mics on, be careful. Do you know how many people, celebrities, people get caught on hot mics saying stuff? And the sad part is, not even sad, is when they come and they issue an apology and then they try to find something to explain why they said that, knowing well enough that no, you said it because you meant it and you got caught on the hot mic. Now you're gonna hear this other teacher that was there and he said something like, Allison, you're hearable. And that's what he said to her. I said it to my mom and she's like, oh, well, in the moment, that's what he said. I said, no, you're hearable. You used to say, Allyson Friedman, you're wrong for what you're saying. Apologize. But no, Allison, you're hearable. And you can see the reactions on the teacher. So let me just read this quick article and then we'll go ahead and play the video. So it says, during a February 10th New York City Community Education Council meeting, District 3 Interim Acting Superintendent Reginald Higgins highlighted scholar Carter G. Woodson, known as the father of Black history. Carter G. Woodson said, when you can't control a man's thinking, you do not have to send him to the back of the door. He will go without being told, Higgins said. So she's using that as why she said what she said. Anyways, then Allyson Friedman, a Hunter College associate professor, can then be heard speaking. And this is what she said. She said, they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. Apparently, Martin Luther King said it like, if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. And you could see the reaction. Another individual in the meeting then jumps in to let Friedman know her mic wasn't muted. Allyson Friedman, what you are saying is absolutely hearable. Instead of saying you're wrong, that, apologize, something. You gotta stop, the individual says. So let's take a listen and then we'll come back.
On Friday, he delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our
Black
lessons.
schools that like they're
This helps
they're
us
just
become
they're
productive,
too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
independent in our class.
I mean, but apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They're just
Allyson Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You got to stop.
Now look at those people's reaction. They are in shock. They're like, did we hear what we just heard? And with that man talking about hearable. I think they said an 8th grader was speaking about not closing the school when it happened.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Me and many other students with our classes and were vaccinated.
So you heard all that. Now I was like, why the heck are they clapping? What are they clapping for? But it was for that student who had spoken about keeping the school open after she gave her speech. That's the reason why they were clapping. So we're going to go ahead and look at this apology that she put out there. It's lengthy, but I'm not going to read all of it. So here we go. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. So I'm not going to read the entire thing. So basically, she said that during the February 10th CEC3 meeting, there was a discussion about systemic racism and educational equity with references to Martin Luther King Jr. and the work of Carter G. Woodson, as well as school closures separately during the meeting. She said, my remarks were not directed at the student speaker and they do not reflect my belief or values. Regardless of my context, my words were wrong and caused real harm. She said that I immediately sent written apologies to Dr. Higgins, the Community Action School, and the Community Education Council. I support the Community Action School and its mission, and I regret adding any pain or distraction at the moment when the community's concern about the Doe's school closure process deserved full attention. So, that's the statement that she made. And, it's just so sad that every time someone is caught in a situation, all of a sudden the apology comes out because they know the consequences. As of today is February 25th. There is no word on if she is fired. She might be suspended or something like that, but no word of a firing. And people are calling for it. Students and parents, they are calling for it. So, they're doing an investigation, and I want to see how that investigation comes out because she said that a Mr. Higgins did a quote and she was commenting on that quote he did. Anyways, gossipers, what are your thoughts? Let me know.